Hello and welcome to Let's Play Riven 2024. This is the remake that was very recently released, much more recent than my usual games. This is a remake of the 1997 adventure game classic, Riven, the sequel to Myst. And it is not a straight remake like the Myst remake that we did a few years ago, on this channel, but it is expanded and improved. Part of that is to give the adventure gamer a new challenge. Part of it is because there were maybe things that would have been different if they would have thought through some implications of things. And we'll come back to some of those things later on. For now, we're going to start a new game. And I've played this twice through already. So it's just asking if I want to overwrite my save game with the new playthrough, and yep.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know, but I'm afraid there's no time to explain. Most of what you'll need to know is in here. For reasons you will discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book back here to Dunny, but it's actually a one-person prison. It's the only way to capture Gen. Here. Once you've freed Catherine, I'll come with a linking book. She'll know how to signal me.
Guess I do have control already.
There's a very good chance, if all this goes well, that you'll be returned to the place that you came from. Until we meet again. Take care, my friend.
Looks like the Myst library ceiling there. And he drops the book into a snap trap to keep us from following him, so they don't have to put a copy of Myst in this game as well. We need to go here and deal with this situation on Riven. For those who don't know, the word Riven is kind of an archaic English word. It's not in common use anymore, but it basically means broken or torn. Riven and twain comes to mind if I'm feeling particularly medieval in my language. This game's gotten a lot of criticism for the character models. It's obvious that Cyan Worlds is a smaller studio that doesn't have quite the 3D modeling budget that maybe the AAAs do. But I've never found them to be as disconcerting or uncanny valley as other commentators seem to have. In the original 1997 game, they were actually small QuickTime animations that were QuickTime videos made from real people acting. And this is rendered and animated. All right, let's take a walk here. That's not nice. This has been a very short game. And we lasted about... Oh, there's a guy. He hasn't noticed us yet.
Yo? Realidad, kawarin. Mulugawi pa man. Tagima. Rekoa. Tagima su rekoa. Isirap. Mutika bukuha nai. Isirap. Mutika bukuha nai. Bukuhan ay. Isirap. Bukuhan ay. Bukuhan.
And he's got my linking book. Also may notice that he is speaking 2 different languages. And that looks like a tranquilizer dart just hit his neck. Which means somebody else is probably coming, and they're removing our helpless friend there. World's slowest cage. And he's messing up the handle, so it can't be re-triggered. Once that's done, we can walk out here. And I'm going to notice a couple things here. Press tab, opens and closes your satchel. And you go over there, and we see a maglev, we call those, going to a different island. And we look down the cliff here, and there is our would-be guard. The first thing he said was something like Cho. So that's the name that he's been given by the fan community. And we have this very large metal knife sitting here. A big gold dome with some pipes sticking out. And the pipes appear to go across the sea to these other islands as well. There's another maglev track over there going between that oddly shaped rock there and what looks like the remainder of a jungle there. And some random equipment over here on this side. So let's take a look down here. And we see the night sky, except this is pointing down into, looks like a metal-covered thing. A vacuum port for some reason. And whatever this thing is. Another, maybe a telescope looking down into the... Okay, I'm gonna pretend I didn't do that. That didn't happen. You can't prove it was me. And there's this thing which looks like it might be a crane to hook onto that thing there and do something. And it is controlled by this panel here, which is probably locked out to prevent tampering by random people who happened to arrive here. And we have a dagger stuck in here. And that's all we can tell from standing right here, but we don't know why we're here. I think Atrus at the start of the thing said something about Gen and something about rescuing Catherine and about returning to wherever it is we're from. So this obviously follows right at the end of Myst. Watch the last episode of any Let's Play of New Myst, and you'll see that this does segue right into the next game. And Myst segues right into Riven. But again, Atrus doesn't really tell us what we're looking for. So we need to go through this journal here. And I don't really want to read this right now. Not first video. Camera there? That looks like a camera pointed at the cage, so somebody knows we're here. Good to know. So what I want to do is I want to just explore a little bit from here and see what we can see. And then we're going to read the journal in the next episode. And that episode will be just the journal. So if you get a little bit fed up with journal reading, you can skip that. It's important to understand what's going on, but I understand that it can be a bit frustrating to not be apparently making progress. So let's explore. This is a room. There's 5 sides to it. Out this way, there's a spinning dome thing. Out this way, if this gate wasn't here, is the big yellow dome we saw from downstairs. We look through here. There's some sort of a cave with some kind of piping in it. This one's got the spinny dome beyond it. And this one here, there's a gate of some sort down at the bottom. It looks like it's chained up. Might give us more access to something. I don't know how this works, but it's probably something we're going to have to figure out. For those watching this while this is still fresh, I'm going to record the entire series before I start posting anything. So that way it just works in with my workflow better to have everything done at once. So you're not stuck waiting for me to remember when I run out of videos. So I do know how to solve this, but I'm going to pretend I don't. So we don't need spoilers in the comments. Weird trees up there. More island. There's another pipe that goes off in that direction across what looks like a hole in the sea. And that's not normal. And it looks like there's more of those brick or concrete stone things holding up the maglev tracks. But it looks like that maglev line is broken down. So there's probably something in that direction, but it's just out of sight. If we go down here, I think I've already been down here, there's the gate. We'll come back to this in a few minutes. Just looking at that hole in the sea. There's something going on with the water here. Remind me not to drink it. And there's a window over there. Similar kind of metal under that dome there, with similar symbol things under it as we saw at the stuff down at the bottom of the stairs next to the linking cage. part of the conversion from a point-and-click slideshow game like the original into a full-blown 3D look anywhere you want, stand anywhere you want type game means that there are angles that you were not able to do in the old game. And things you're not allowed to see that you weren't able to inspect more closely that you now are. So this room here, between the music and the decor, kind of gives me... Oh yeah, that's definitely... this is definitely a worship space of some sort. We don't know at this point what their religion is like, but this does give me the vibe that they are sacrificing vegetables, weird vegetables, to whatever kind of animal or deity or whatever these things are here. That is a thing. We'll have to figure that out later. And there is a door here, and there are no visible controls to operate the door. The other major difference you're going to notice from the original Riven is that there used to be a door along this staircase here, opening into a control room that has an open button for that door. But we don't in this version. We actually have to solve this room here in order to get to that button. Whatever solving this space here means, because it's the only other thing on the island that we can get into. This control panel down there is locked. The cage is broken. Let's see what this does. Have to be very close to it for some reason. And it looks like it's spinning the whole room. That's not helpful. We can't go in now. But we're now looking through one of those window portals that we saw earlier. And there's a grate on that side, so we can't actually go anywhere. We can't see the doorway that was over there. So, hard to say what this accomplished for us. You have to be standing on the magic spot for that to work. Given that there's 5 of these little hole things, or doors, three little round windows and 2 doors, makes sense that this is rotating 1/5 of the way each time. And there's that grate again, and I still can't see the other door. Those beetle things might be interactive. Come back and look at those later. Come on. Now the other door. So this side of the room used to be there and connect to the big yellow dome, but now we have access to the spinning dome except for the gate. There is a button there, and we can kind of see a lever through here. But the next pull will probably align that gate downstairs with, I think, this, which might be something to explore. So let's push this button one more time. And while it's spinning the room, let's go downstairs and look back at that gate and see if we can get it open. One thing I miss from the point-and-click version of this is the ability to skip that animation of the room spinning. That went too quickly. In the original game, you would just duck under, but now the gate goes further down. In the original game, the dagger was down on the floor. You'd duck down to look at it and realize you could walk under the gate. Here it's pointed at the hinge that you've broken. And they don't have the clipping of that quite right, where they've got that going into the surrounding log. Come back up here, across the plank, across the chasm, down into here, and we are venting steam, probably geothermal steam, and this pipe goes out possibly to the steam thing that we saw earlier. So let's go down there and take a look. That kind of looks like the gates that are blocking the access to the other doors. You throw that, does it open? It's opening access to the dome. Yay, access to the dome. So we can get closer to that and see what it's all about. So we're going to go down this side. Now this thing is steaming, it's got a leak. That's probably why they keep it turned off. But we can, still can't turn that. Now it's got these funny symbols here. They all do the same. Yes, it looks like it's always the same thing. And this goes in the reverse order. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, and there's 10 different symbols. So let's not try to brute force this one. I believe this combination is actually generated randomly each time you start the game. So is this steam engine, steam powered device sound like an idling diesel now? That would be weird. Because idle steam engines are usually fairly quiet. They're not spinning. A properly equipped adventure game character would have a rope and would tie it onto something heavy and rappel down there. I have met very few adventure game characters who actually are prepared with a rope. And the Cyan games are definitely not inventory-based games, so they don't have a rope anyway. The only Sierra games I can think of that you use a rope like that is Leisure Suit Larry 1, where you're working on balconies, and Space Quest 2, where you're evading the monster. And at some point we're going to be able to park this room and leave it in a specific configuration. And just leave it. But that is not right away. Other gate should let me into the yellow dome. big dome with some weird eye symbols on it. And a pipe going out of it into the central dome there. And if we look, we can see that all the other pipes that we've been noticing do seem to come out of that central gold dome there. I want to step away from the big rumbly dome. May have to adjust the volume for that in post. And looks like there's a button up top here. And it takes forever to pop back up. But which symbol to press it on. In the old game, you just start clicking the thing like mad, and eventually you'll click it at the right moment. They've noticed that. That's got a eye with dot, circle with dot in it. So maybe that's the one that opens this door. Who knows? Let's find out. That did something. And if you play the original game, you know there's no point in opening these things up right away because all there is a combination lock and something you can't even use yet. But what are you doing? Closing. Uh-oh. And it starts to spin again. This is not the way it was in the old game. The first time I saw this, I was just completely taken aback that, wait, this is not the way this is supposed to be. And there's two things we can do here right now. One of them is this call button. This is a generic call button for anything that moves in this game. Flashing lights. And there you go, solid, and you're able to walk across here. And this looks like it's missing parts. And this is just a very strange space. And this part I want to be doing something that we don't know all the way about yet, so let's just because I can, it'll save me a trip later. Actually, you know what, let's not do this right now. Let's go back to reality, out of this strange place. We'll come back to this in a bit, but we're going to go back to reality here, and then I'm going to read the journal in the next episode, and then we'll continue trying to get off this island and follow that guy we saw earlier. If I can figure out how to do that. about the time per episode that I'm aiming for, which is about half an hour. Alright, so thanks for watching, and tune in next time for the journal, or the time after that for not the journal. Thanks.